Hey everybody, it's Torn Guy Ed here. I was just thinking I should make a little video because I don't know. I've been doing a little bit of touch and go research on the Myers and Briggs personality types and typing people and stuff and the philosophy, and it's helped me kind of place my own personality, which is interesting to me because I've had a lot of difficulty in my life feeling like I was a normal human being. So it's mind blowing to me, and it's great because I've been wanting to find a new interest to delve into and explore. I've been feeling a little bit um, wayward and lethargic in my state of being lately. So I know I made another video and put it on here, and the plan didn't go too good. I was supposed to be getting my life together and in a better place, and really not much has changed except for I did overcome the short-term anguish and disability, or how would you say it? Um, my inability to be mobile at that time. My prosthetic leg was hurting me. It still hurts me, but uh, I've got it under more control. I also got my emotions a little bit more under control, as in I'm not as depressed at the moment. I would be lying to say that if I didn't say that I am a little depressed at the moment, but it's more in control. And I'm working on that aspect of my life as well. I actually have a surgery planned. It's not scheduled yet, but I've had to go to Madison, UW Health, the University Health Center, and plan out a reconstructive surgery for my residual limb, because, like I was saying, my plan didn't work out too well to just lose weight and then get a fit that was good. It's more complicated than that. My leg shape, the stump, is inherently, excuse me, problematic. So that needs to change if I'm going to live a physically fulfilling life, and that's what I need to do. So that's what I plan to do. Uh, um, I also saw that my personality type, or I have gathered that my personality type benefits supposedly through venting, their uh, getting their insight out, so that they basically exercising their TI, or introverted thinking, so that it doesn't just stay cooped up and I don't feel as lonely uh, and misunderstood or as anxious. So I figured I'm not a huge fan of writing, and I basically lose most of the journals I've ever started in my life. I just figured I'll just do it the new way. So here I am. And I don't need a personal journal or diary or anything like that. I can pretty much be quite open about my life. The things that I do wish to keep private, I don't even know if I would bother writing them down anyways. Not crucial parts of the aspect of my being. But I was wondering, if you guys ever contemplate your own existence, and how you personally would deal with, like, a life problem like one that I presently have and have had for a long time. Uh, in that trying to live life to your fullest, but always being hampered by pain and, frankly, handicap in certain aspects. I mean, yeah, I can run, but at the cost of, you know, pain. You're going to get pain from doing anything that you wish to do. And being an active person, or feeling that you need to be active and to get better at things, and yeah, to be ambitious, let's say, and have something that you can't control hold you from your vision, and fighting against it with all means that you possibly can. I'm wondering how many others feel like they're taking something like that on, and how many of those individuals feel alienated, like other people don't understand, and because there are more than just me and you and whoever else is going through it. We are together. It just doesn't feel like that sometimes, But we are, and I'm here for you. I know you care about what I'm going through too. I wish I could help everybody who suffered. And I wonder if does anyone else ever get the feeling like they wish they it's hard to say. I'll figure that one out. But yeah, let me just brainstorm here, see if I have anything else interesting to say. Oh yeah, I've been going down this little rabbit hole of MBTI, Myers-Briggs personality. Carl Jung, the guy who came up with it, the theory of his typology. I forgot. They call it Myers and Briggs now because that was a mother and a daughter came up with a test to help characterize individuals into what their personality types are. You can go take them online if you want. They are somewhat unreliable and reliable because people have the tendency to, they answer the questions like their perception of themselves is what is being, if they're not being objective enough, you can screw up the test and you're not going to get the proper results. It's a painful test to take because you have to be honest, and I know that some people are going to find that very hard, or it's just impossible. Which is why I would say, if you're going to rely on those tests, get someone that you can trust, or multiple people, to help you answer the questions. Let them, when you read those questions, read them all loud, let them hear it, and then you say what you feel about it, how you feel you want to answer, and see if your friends or family or whoever is present, see if they have something to interject, like an idea or a time where you maybe displayed something different. And if enough times have gone by that you displayed a different behavior, you should probably answer the question contrary to what you wished you were, and more to what you actually exude. It'll help you better type yourself, and in doing so, I've found that, I'm an INFJ, and I know this intuitively, which is, it's funny because it's irony, because that's my most prominent function is my intuition, my introverted intuition. So I knew that the way I stumbled upon this was, oh, here, let me back up for a second. So this is the standpoint that I held before I delved into this, and it's why it's taken me so long to get into it. I'm 28 years old, and I'm like a quintessential, textbook perfect INFJ. Um, in that I I'm almost always floating into a different reality, thinking about possibilities about, well, let's just put it this way. When I was 13 years old, I was trying to figure out how the world should be run, what kind of military, what kind of taxes, what kind of schooling system to produce the best type of people, the selfless type of people. Uh, I mean, I came up with very complex functions of society when I was a very young man, and it was just because that's what I care about. That's what I think about. That's my whole goal in life, is to make an impact. It always has been. Since I've been able to recollect what I think about and what I value, it's all about fixing the planet, helping everything that's involved in that, and making sure that they all have a place and that it is pure and undisrupted and symbiotic to all other organisms. And of course, that has synthesized itself over and over again until I've gotten my own very pure picture of what that means in my head. It's not easy to explore all the time because I have to, basically, if you could picture it, it's like when I look into my mind, I see, like, let's just look at it at like the universe. I need to see a specific star, and then I can find the Earth, and then I can find Mars, and then so I would, and all that. So I need like something to remind me of what it is, and then it just opens it up, and I can see what I've already mapped in there. But because I jump to a new and grand idea after I've already um, digested what I need to know about a certain thing or subject. For example, and I can kind of point out the differences between me and my younger brother right here, is in our thought processes. So both of us interested in being self-sufficient and being able to survive if the world ever took a crap. So an apocalyptic terminology. So it goes, so an apocalypse happens. So my younger brother cares about that. I cared about it. I think about it. And so naturally we want to know about what the things that would keep us alive in those situations. So I want to know how to defend myself. I want to know how to make fire. I want to know how to catch food, how to hunt, whatever. All these things. But see, I looked into it for about a month, thought about it, looked up videos, and then came up with a picture of what I would do if that happened. So the objects that I'm using, not important. Whatever tool I could get my hands on, as long as I could make fire. And since I decided in my head, there's always something around that I could process wood with. Even if you think there's not, I mean, there's remnants of humans, there's scrap metal. I can use that to make a tool. It'd be easy for me. Um, or at least I perceive it to be easy. It's a simple matter, but what really matters is, could I make fire? Will that be available? And how do you do it in theory? That's what's important to me. And so a month of digesting all that, and like body temperature and how easy how perilous it can be, the problems that can arise, and to be aware of those. And if I'm in that situation, I would deal with it in certain ways. but I came up with all those ideas and I stored them away. Takes about a month or so. My younger brother, being what I think is an ISTP, um, what his main objective is to know for a fact that he can make the fire. So he gets himself the tools that he needs in real life. He processes wood hundreds of times over, processing wood. He'll go and chop wood up in the backyard. He'll use his knife to make these, what they call, I don't know, feathers or something, where you basically carve little thin sheets of wood, and you make your surface area. It's a big deal. So you want as much surface area as possible so that it burns. Jesus, is it longer? Or no, surface area equals easier access for ignition. So more oxygen's touching the piece of fuel, wood, and it's easier to ignite. So surface area is how you start it. You want more surface area, then you want it to become more dense to make the burn slow. Well, anyways, my brother will go and he'll process this stuff. In reality, making fire. And he will do it over and over again so that if that reality actually happens, my brother will be able to make fire, and I will still be trying to figure out how to implement the skills that I have in my head. That's basically the sum of how that works within that situation. So I'm standing outside of this reality before I ever dive into this, and I think it's just juju. It's just esoteric bullcrap. Even though I've dabbled within unpopular ideas, I am a supporter of field theory and the ideas of Nikola Tesla and Alexanderson, and I can't remember everybody's name, but field theory. It makes sense to me. And not only does it make sense to me, I've seen evidence of it, not firsthand, but I seek to gratify that as well. But I have no resources to do so now, so it's not important. That's not the step I must take at the moment. But like field theory, I'm way deep into theology, the study of religions. Basically is what theology is, and mythology. Well, in my eyes, they're the same. But I'm not an atheist per se, but I have no illusions to reality when it comes to certain things that physics just would not allow to happen, which they say do in most mythologies, including Christianity. But anyways, I find those things extremely interesting, and engaging, and like they're clues to the truth. Before I get sidetracked though, it's so I thought that this personality stuff, I thought it was more like the zodiac signs and things like taken raw, the zodiac signs taken raw, or like Zen taken raw, like just looking at it from the outside view without trying to tie it to something that is actually scientific. I thought this personality type thing was juju. Thought it was bullcrap. Until one night, about a month ago, maybe less, I was laying down to go to bed and I listened to YouTube videos, and I just checked the YouTube feed before I go to sleep, and I see there's a title that says, Are you an INFJ, the rarest personality type in the world? And I'm like, well, I was listening to it because I feel different. It's kind of an interesting topic. So I listened to it and I'm like, oh, wow. I relate so much to just that one video. So I knew something was up. So I took the test immediately on 16personalities.com or whatever they call it. I don't know if it's a .com or not, but I took that one first, and I was like, yeah, it came up as an INFJ. Then I found out, like 3 days after diving into it, through tons of videos, and I found out that that's not, they don't utilize the Briggs and Myers typology specifically and only. They're also tying it to the big five or whatever personality traits, which is a much more simplistic and but to the point and provable or matter of factual, easy to understand personality typing system that today's science uses to type people according to their demeanor more than the way that their mind works. Okay, so it's good, but it's not deep. It's not as deep. And so I was like, well, I need to take another test. So I took another test, and I was INFJ. And I took another one, and I was INFJ. So I was like, okay, that's enough of that. Stop doubting it. Don't think about it. And I started doing more research into it, of course, days and days. And I'm looking into, I start typing my family, and I do a pretty good job. And within the one day, I pretty much figured out what my parents are, or I'm pretty sure. And now I'm just like touching up. I'm going and I'm looking at to see if I can find evidence to my suspicions that I've created in my head. That my mom is this, basic impressions. I need a little bit more information so that I can leave it behind. And yeah, that's what they are. And then I can work with them to maybe help them, or they might not find it interesting or helpful at all. I have no idea yet, but they seem pretty receptive to the idea. And I think it's important to know, because I have a niece and a nephew, and I think they could, if my brother embraces this idea, he might be able to utilize it to understand his kids more. And that would be awesome, even though my brother is already a great father, and their mother is amazing as well. But yeah, so I didn't believe in this shit or stuff. And but I'm telling you right now, it's got validity. It's real. You will learn a lot about yourself. You will learn, if you even just tiptoeing into the waters, just getting your toes wet, you're going to learn a lot about yourself, and it's going to be, it's like a revelation. You will learn why you are the way you are, even if you don't want to go in deeper to find out, like, why are we this way? Like, something I'm very interested in now is, instead of, like, they call him like the adventurer, they call him they call mine the counselor. Well, let's boil that down. Like, in the beginning of time, why would this type of person need to be there? And what process do they bring to the table for our evolution? And what is your purpose? It helps. They simplify it and they interject it. And I mean, that's the whole point of the Myers and Briggs typing system, is to help you find out what career you should be in. But in reality, it's deeper than that. What is your purpose on Earth? And because they say, I should be a psychologist. Sure, I could do that, but the problem is then I'll be a pill pusher. Because in today's society, if you don't do that as a psychologist, or I don't even know the right word for it, but as a doctor, you're going to the system is corrupt. So if I go into that system being incorruptible, then you will fail. You have to be able to change the system. So the only way I could do it is a private practice. And in that sense, I would not be able to be successful enough for me to realize the other dreams that I have processed in my head to make humanity a better place, even if it's within my micro um, ecosystem, my area, my state, whatever. Even if it was that, I won't have enough resources made by an independent practitioner. You won't be able to do that very easily. It'd be extremely hard, unlikely. That's why I'm not sure what to do when it comes to all that. And actually, I thought I had the idea pinned down, but alas, I don't know if I do. Because I do know what my strengths are. And I was thinking about going into a more practical field where I could be successful, and if things fell apart, I would at least be safe financially. But how fulfilling of a life is that to someone like that? I don't know. Not as fulfilling as I would like it to be. But anyways, uh, yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do on here. It is a little embarrassing, and I'm wondering if I should allow this to be posted, but at the same time, I know it's irrelevant. But if someone wants to communicate through this with me and give me a subject matter, I know I'm spitting wads, but if you can communicate with me and give me maybe more topics, I will bring in topics to speak about on here. Uh, but if someone else interjects, I will entertain their ideas if they are relevant to me or anything else, or if I can be helpful. I would love that opportunity. And yeah. But as much as I'd love to keep talking, I don't want to come off as super strange, because I I'm losing train of thought, and I don't really have a segue um, at the moment. But it's been nice to talk to you. Thank you for listening.